What is the scariest unexplainable thing that has happened to you? When I was a kid, my parents and my four siblings and I moved into an old house in Maine. My parents were an interior designer and remodeling contractor at the time. They would fix the house and the rooms to look better, and in a few months we would be out of there and buy our dream house, but that didn't happen. As I walked into that house, I had a bad feeling that something or someone was watching us. For the first few nights nothing really happened except for some pipes make noise and a bad smell coming from the kitchen, but it was an old house so I just brushed it off. But on day 4 of living there, my little sister is what I thought came in my room and laid on my bed. This wasn't weird because my little sister always had very bad nightmares, and she would always come lay with me for some comfort. I started to go back to sleep, but then my sister started squeezing my hand so tight that I couldn't move my hand away, and I started crying on how bad it hurt. I keep telling her to stop and that it really hurt. Then I had enough momentum to get her hand off of my hand and got up and saw there was nothing. My sister was never in my room. I started crying even more of the thought that someone was in my room, and I started questioning myself. Who was that? Was it some kind of joke? Was I just dreaming? I knew I couldn't sleep in that room by myself again that night, so I went to go sleep with my big sister in her room, and she asked me why I was sleep with her. I told her everything, and she just told me that Anna, my little sister, was probably just play a joke on me, and that I have nothing to worry about. I asked my little sister the following morning if she thought it was funny that she made me cry last night. She said she didn't know what I was talking about and said she was in her room all night. After hearing that, my body went numb. I didn't know what to say to her. I just walked away and went to sit in the reading room and to process all of this. After a few minutes of sitting there, I told my parents about what happened, and after telling them they just told me, and I was probably just dream, and told me to watch less TV. I knew I didn't dream that whole thing. I just wish time would go faster so I could get out of this house, I thought. After a month went by, I forgot about what happened and just went back to sleep in my room. But I started to notice that my mom was acting weird, like doing things she had very done before. Like one night my dad waked to my mom sleep on him with a knife on his neck. My dad grabbed the knife from her hand and threw it across the room. My dad continued to say, "What the FK are you doing?" My mom wake up and start crying. My dad suggested that she would take a break from building the house and to go live with her mom for a few days. My mom agreed with that statement and kept saying she was sorry and didn't know what got in her. A couple of days later, my mom packed her stuff and went to Florida to go see her mom. At least we thought she was doing that. Later at night, my old sister went down to get a glass of water until she saw her mom standing in the kitchen. She didn't say anything and walked away to go tell our dad. After hearing that my mom was in our house, my dad jumped out of bed and went to find her until he saw my mom jump from the second-story balcony. My dad tried to catch her but got there too late. My mom died of suicide. We don't know why she did it. My mom was the happiest person we knew, and all I know is she didn't do that to herself. There was something telling to do I jump. I'm going back to that house after 20 years. I need answers. Wish me luck.